You got snow. Well, at least an inch or two. What are you sniffing under the bird feeder for? Jello. We go this way. Today I will be transplanting a few of my green starts that I've started down here in my basement. It is in the middle of winter in Michigan, so not much going on outside, and we didn't get any greenhouse up or hoops up really early enough to do much outdoor winter planting. So we decided to set up a system down in our basement to start growing some of our own winter food and winter crops. A few weeks ago, already started some greens, combination of greens here, various types, as well as some herbs. I'll give you a little tour. So these are the greens that I started prior to, I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. Now, in this dome here, I have a heat pad, but I do have a few herbs that I've started. So we have some oregano, which is doing well. Some basil, 2 out of the 3 took off. Some cilantro, which I already transplanted 1, and the 3rd one did not take off. And again, some sage, same thing, 2 out of the 3 took off. I've already transplanted 1. I'm having a little trouble with the cumin and the lavender. Neither one germinated, so I'll probably just have to look up to see what I did wrong. On the other side, I do have some beet starts that are just barely starting. That started a couple weeks ago. And excuse the intrusion. Apparently Felix wants to help transplant. But yeah, on the other side, under the lights, I do have a few other starts, some peppers and tomatoes, as well as some beets. And what we're really growing the beets for indoors are for microgreens. So again, adding to salad mixes and things like that. I've already transplanted a few of my greens into a couple pots where I have a couple dying pepper plants. They were pulled in from the garden a little late. They were a little frosted. One of them's gone. The other one is still hanging in there, but we're working on it. I put a variety of herbs because a lot of the herbs will help the pepper plant grow. Plus, peppers are really a tropical plant. They grow in the rainforest regions, so they are used to having a lot of plants around them in the more moist, humid environment. So having a lot of plants grow around it actually should help it thrive and give it a little more localized humidity. You know you're in the way. Okay, so here I have some potting soil that I'm just going to put in one of my smaller pots. It's already mixed with some vermiculite for aeration, so we don't have to do anything with that. I could take some outdoor soil or compost, which is my plan for next year. Bring that in to start some seeds, or even better yet, to have a greenhouse outside to do that in. But didn't have everything all set this fall to go, and the ground is frozen out there, so we're not doing that now. So we do have some organic potting soil. You do want to have something like vermiculite or perlite in there just to aerate the soil. So what I'll do is I'll just fill my pot most of the way up. Leave a little bit of room, about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch at the top, just so as I water it doesn't overflow over the sides. I am going to dampen this because this is very dry right now. And if you are on city water, you're going to want to have your water sitting out for at least 24 hours to let the chlorine dissipate. We are on well water here, so that is helpful. But I usually have my water sitting out and ready to go anyway. But I'm just going to dampen this a little bit because it is extremely dry, and we're going to let it soak in. And yes, I will get muddy, but that's all right. So what I'm going to do is take a few of these overgrown lettuces. We're just going to, I tend to plant things. I like to plant them a little bit more crowded so there's not so much bare soil, a little bit more natural, because the outdoors, if you had a bare soil, you'll get some weed growth in between. So I do put them fairly close together, even when we're indoors. That also helps keep the soil from drying out, so you don't have to water it quite so frequently. And these are starting to grow together a little bit, so let's see if I can get just one here. It to go down far enough so that you're just going to the bottom, covering it to the bottom of the first leaves, the first tree leaves on here. Could have transplanted these about a week ago. That would have been absolutely fine because they already had the first tree leaves. Didn't have time, so we're doing it now. I'm going to put probably about 4, maybe 5 starts into this pot. I actually am a little short on medium-sized pots, so I'm going to put some in some oversized pots, which will work just fine. They have plenty of room. You could almost grow some carrots, they're so big. Watercress. Okay, so you do want to keep your lights pretty close to your plant because that way they're getting the full effect of the fake sun. And as your plants grow, you can move the lights up. So I'm just going to use a few tags to label these plants. I tend to reuse these tags, so I keep the labels pretty general. Okay, so we're going to put a few more plants in these pots. Taking some more of our greens, I might mix in some of the herbs at this point. Looks like I have a few that are ready to transplant. So we'll just continue on. Okay, so those two will now go under the lights as well. And then we'll see what we want to start in our next tray. Okay, so just an idea for how to start seeds. You could go directly into the tray by putting some seed starting soil or potting soil or maybe your compost from outside. into the tray. Now keeping in mind that it doesn't, it does have these ridges, but it doesn't drain extremely well. That is a decent place to start, an easy way to start. If you want to be able to have mini containers, which you can separate the seeds, you can reuse your old egg crates, as long as you don't have the styrofoam one. So the cardboard egg crates are easy to cut apart. I started my tomato and pepper seeds in these so that later I could just pull them apart, and they will biodegrade just like any seed starting pellet package that you get. So that is a great way to reuse your old egg crates. Sometimes you get some nicely shaped packing material that is biodegradable. I forget what came in this, but it looks almost perfect for starting some seedlings in. And again, you can pretty much cut that apart and plant those later, and this should biodegrade right into your garden. So I'm gonna save that one for later in the season so that I can start some like tomatoes and peppers, or even things like squash or whatnot. I'll start it inside or in a greenhouse if I get that built before the end of the season. And that way we could get things going before we have to go outside and plant them after the frost is passed. So get an early start on things. And I just got my order of Johnny seeds in. So I'm gonna see what I have, and I might start, I'm focusing again more on greens than anything else. I'm trying to get some tomatoes and peppers going, but you know, what works. So what I'll do here is I'm gonna just fill this whole thing with some starting soil, some potting soil, and just sprinkle some various green seeds on. You could do beet seeds. Beet greens work very well and are a great microgreen, or just a combination of things. I think I'll do part chard and part kale. The chard we got was the bright light chard, which is nice because it gives some color. It's a variety of different colors, which is very pretty. Everybody likes to eat pretty food. Okay, so these, although they're cold hardy, they need to germinate at warmer temperatures. So we're going to use our heating mat under this setup, and we're probably going to we'll do half kale and half chard. The nice thing about this method is if you overplant, you just thin it out when they're baby greens. You pull a few of the baby greens out. You can have it with the salad with the other greens you have, and just let the rest keep growing. So there's no waste with that. You just eat them when they're younger. Yeah. Only needs to be 1/4 inch deep, so it really does not. So we just need to barely tap them in. So I'm just going to make a few rows, guidelines, and then we'll cover them over. Cover over the kale. And on the other end of this, these go a little bit deeper. They go up to about a 1/2 inch deep. So just make my furrows slightly deeper, not much. And again, they could be planted pretty close together because we'll weed them out as they grow. So on this end, we're planting Swiss chard, rainbow light Swiss chard, which is a very pretty multicolor Swiss chard. Now, one pointer when you plant in the garden. If you're planting your Swiss chard anywhere near your beets, make sure you label them because they're very hard to tell the difference as they're growing, especially just as they're shoots. Although you can eat both of the greens, you know, beet greens or chard greens, obviously, but if you want to save the beets for the root, you want to make sure that you're not pulling them for the greens, or at least not over pulling them for the greens. So I highly recommend labeling them. That should do it. So I'm going to cover these over. Give them a little bit of water. I'm giving them a good watering, mainly because when you take this bagged soil, it is very dry. I'm going to put the lid on it so that holds the moisture in it, doesn't all evaporate away. Plus it helps heat the soil because these really need to germinate at 70 degrees or higher. So we're going to put this on the heating mat, put a lid on it. I'm going to get some labels in there so we remember what they are, and then we'll see how they do.